According to PETA.com, more than 100 million animals are burned, poisoned, crippled, and abused in United States laboratories each year. Animal testing should be made illegal in the United States. Animal testing is cruel and inhumane, and there are alternative methods to animal testing. I use cruelty-free products ever since I researched animal testing in high school. I asked my audience if they knew what products were used on animals in laboratories, and they said that they knew household cleaners were and cosmetics were tested on them as well. I asked my audience if they believe that animal testing is necessary, and they agreed that it is not necessary for chemicals to be tested on animals and that there are alternative methods today. Today we will talk about how animal testing is cruel and inhumane, alternatives to animal testing, how effective is animal testing, and what you can do to help. First, we will discuss the cruel and inhumane ways chemicals are tested on animals. There is a test called acute toxicity testing, which is administered to animals in extremely high doses. They are also force-fed to animals and force-inhaled with these chemicals. There is an eye and skin irritation testing that includes chemicals being dripped into rabbits' eyes and chemicals smeared onto their skin. This causes a lot of damage to their skin as well as internally. There is a skin sensitization testing, which is done on guinea pigs. This is to test for allergic reactions. This also causes health damage both internally and externally on guinea pigs. There is a carcinogen testing where animals are made to force ingest or inhale chemicals. These tests can be administered up to 2 years, and it's to look for signs of cancers with these chemicals. There is a reproductive and developmental toxicity testing that is given to mice prior to mating, and it is given to them for extended periods of time to test for these chemicals that may cause reproduction issues in humans. Now we'll talk about the alternatives to animal testing. The alternatives to animal testing, according to procon.com, are in vitro testing. We can study cell cultures in a petri dish that are actually more accurate than animal testing results because we can use actual human cells. There is something that is called microdosing, which is administering doses too small to cause adverse effects in human volunteers. There's also artificial human skin that is made from sheets of human skin cells grown in test tubes that can produce more useful results in animal testing because, again, we're using human cells. There's microfluidic chips that are lined with human cells and recreate the functions of human organs. And lastly, according to procon.com, there are computer models that can predict the toxicity of substances without using animals to test chemicals on. Next, we will talk about the effectiveness of animal testing. Animals are very different from humans. They have a completely different atomic, metabolic, and cellular differences between us. And that drugs that pass animal tests aren't actually always safe for humans. According to procon.com, 94% of drugs that pass animal tests fail in human clinical trials. So it's really not that effective. Lastly, we will discuss what you can do to help. You can shop cruelty-free products and brands. You can actually find a list of cruelty-free brands by going to Leaping Bunny Global Shopping Guide online. Just to name a few big companies that you might have heard of before that are cruelty-free are Aveda, Bath & Body Works, Burt's Bees, The Honest Company, Tom's of Maine. The other things that you can do to help, according to the Humane Society International.com, you can sign the Global Be Cruelty Free Pledge. You can become a lab animal defender by donating money through their monthly program. You can contact your favorite brands and urge them to become cruelty-free. Every vote counts, and every voice needs to be heard. So now we're going to review what we have discussed today. that there are alternative methods available that don't include the cruel and inhumane use of animals. We also went over the cruel testings that are done to animals, alternative testing, the effectiveness of animal testing, and what you can do to help. I hope that you will review the products that you use daily and make the move to cruelty-free. Animals don't have a voice, but you can be their voice for them.